Hey, Grinks, thank you for joining us. Okay, this is deep space, North Korea, China, and San Francisco. So I connected to Australia yesterday. That was different. So kind of going. I don't know if I'm gonna go through all the countries, but just give a different take on reality. Yeah, there is going to be some shortages in some areas, because but they're going to fix this stuff eventually. It's just gloom and doom. As usual, the poor ice caps are going to take us down and everything, and whatever else I've heard in the past. I don't see any of that. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But a lot of times I just worry about nothing. Like 2012, many people thought the world was going to end. So, of course, a lot of people thought Trump was going to win, and that didn't go well either. So, just basically just ride the wave and see where things go. Next week feels another uneventful, at least worldwide, uneventful again. Of course, they're going to have to manufacture problems and all that, with the news and stuff like that. It doesn't create problems. It's just such a joke. So whatever it's got to do, it's got to do. So yeah, deep space is going to be. I'm not sure what to expect from that one, or any of them for that matter. Of course, San Francisco is Illuminati hangout, one of them at least. Headquarters is Avatar.com, your private sessions. We have the scheduler here. We have a shop. I forget what I'm on. I think I'm on the 29th. Same situation here. We have the webinar, which is tomorrow night. Social network, behind the scenes, and the school. All right. Get my list here so I remember. Okay. All right. Anything else going on in the world? No. Other than just world panic. That's all. So, all right. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are a consciousness of deep space. Not for everyone. It is not necessarily the seedy part of town, but there are places where it's good to know yourself very well. There are worlds that are very positive, and there are worlds that are trickster planets. There are places where there is, you can say, parasitic. Well, there's AI energies that are very powerful that took over the minds of souls, beings, wherever, that lost control of themselves or just don't have any self-love for themselves. So yeah, it's amazing what kind of planets you can find in areas of the unknown. Once again, there are places that are very high vibrational in areas that are not exactly, I wouldn't call them not safe, but they're kind of seedy. Of course, there are places, yes, that are very high vibrational, that are just to shift your energy completely. Maybe sometimes be too high vibrational, where you can't even handle it. Kind of like you lose yourself. So it can happen. So the reason we are coming into your consciousness, yeah, a lot of self-reflection of what can the soul handle. That's not very usually discussed often. It's like some souls feel like they can handle anything and then find out it's the exact opposite. Like they're the strongest person around. They always feel like they're strong. And it doesn't mean they aren't. But a soul can have its limits at the same time. Yeah, it's like how far darkness can you go? Some souls can only go so far. Others can go, yes, into demonic realms very easily and come back out, and even goes to higher dimensions and then go back into demonic realms very easily. Not everyone can do it to that capacity. Someone just stay in the higher realms with it. That's where they feel safe. It's like there's only so far a soul can go to really test itself. But some here, you've seen that those that are challenged and going through suffering, they can go pretty deep into their own, their own darkness, further than others. Not that this is a who is better and anything like that. It's just that some souls have found a way to see a seedier side of themselves, and it's not always the easiest thing to handle. But it's something that they're dealing with. Like once you get used to going into darkness, it's easy to do. And some just find an excuse to do it. Well, that's what the warning is. It's like how much, just like a test in school. But you agree to the test though. A lot of times in school, you just get whatever they're giving you. But in your life project, of course, you don't always see it this way, but you usually agree to it. Of course, when you're living it, it's a whole other story. The most complicated test. A lot of souls get fragmented, defragmented when they go through challenges. So if you go through a great deal of pain, some become actually police officers, meaning that if you can't handle a certain amount of, like if a soul goes through trauma, and like the worst thing ever happened to them, whatever it might be, they usually take a lifetime of preventing that problem again. Just like you see people with celebrities doing this, they get a disease trying to prevent others to get it. But you have a life mission to just prevent others to go through what you went through. But it's you doing it. It's not you asking for donations. It's not you asking, it's you actually doing it. Like if there's a disease, you become a doctor to find a cure for it. I wonder how our professions come from. Especially when you have family members that died and you have another lifetime prevent anyone's family members to die, including your own. And usually, like it might be a disease that's easy to cure, but due to technologies, it's very difficult. So just get an idea of life purposes. Sometimes you put yourself in these situations, your challenges in this lifetime gives you a hint of your next life. We're just saying. It's quite common here. This planet is a necessary evil. You don't have to look at it that way, but it pretty much is. It is what the universe has been asking for, and yes, it will definitely delivered. With all its darkness, it truly goes to the basics of human existence. You're born as a child, because there are human worlds they skip the whole child part. They're like, some worlds can be like a kid's 15. How that works is for another discussion. Well, basically, the soul usually has experience. So why start off as a baby when you're not a baby? You are what you are. There are realities where, yes, two people have children, they open up a dimension, and an old man shows up. I'm your kid, and I'm old. That's a little bit strange. Because a lot of the children here are old. Well, they act it, some do. It's just you don't see it. Yes, there are strange realities out there. Your world is far from ready to see. Well, you can through a Twilight Zone episode, yes. But even the higher vibrational lifetime worlds can be a Twilight Zone episode. They have the best intentions ever. How much can humans handle? Now, many of you can handle quite a bit, which is excellent. And you're wanting that reality to come through. You're already seeing, yes, with this sexuality of people, the non-gender energy is showing is it's a neutral thing too. It's not just about being non-gender, non-binary, what you call it. Either way, not male, not female. Even if you might have female genitalia, you still see yourself as non-binary. But it really has to do about being neutral. It's like you're literally living it. It's like I take all of the sexualities, what you labeled me as, and remove it. And there's a deeper connection there that will, especially if you call yourself male, you not always, but you're more connected to the female. You're bringing more female into your life, not always. And for females, bringing more male into your life. So there's that going on. Yeah, there is gender swapping in the universe, where yes, you see it here, but in the universe, deep other realities where yes, you don't like your gender, and you find someone else that has a gender you want, and you switch with it. That's a little strange, but it's easier for them to do it because they're at a higher frequency. Here is a little bit more complicated. Oh, yeah, that's entirely up to you. Yeah, we don't recommend a lot of that. It's hard to switch genitalia with somebody here, at least from our point of view. It's hard, and there's that also. Let you go with that type of imagery in your mind. Yes, people are trading toys and collectibles. What about body parts? That can happen too. Not here. Not now, at least. Yeah, that's where it gets a little strange out there. Not that we're trying to build a trend here or anything like that. Not yet, at least. Yes, you have a long ways for many of these things. Usually in the higher dimensions, it's easier to do those type of exchanges. Especially, yes, in the higher dimensions, gender swapping is absolutely normal. It's so easy because it's energy. Yes, you can change your looks. It's like, wow, that person looks attractive, and all of a sudden you look like them. So, yeah, but you don't act like them. Sometimes you want to follow that person and try to learn some of their mannerisms too, and now you got yourself a clone. Well, and you're still slightly different though. That's another way how souls are figuring out their identity and things like that. Of course, where you're born into this reality, you choose. You have certain family members that you're going to copy. That's done on purpose or anti-copy, but you copy it to a certain extent. That's all done by design. You might not like the parent. There's a lot of that going on. You don't have to like them to learn from them. There's a certain, it's like as a child, you're kind of like, you're doing a recipe for yourself. You're adding a little bit of this, you're adding a little bit of that to yourself. It's like you're cooking yourself, you can say. In some form of it. All right, that's all we have for you today. Greetings. We are consciousness of North Korea. You'd be surprised how much of a feminine energy is in North Korea. Yes, a great amount of mind control is done there. Uh, Soul identity. To you can say to take the collective there and make everyone the same. Does that sound easy? Almost liking everything the same, but making everyone do the same thing and be the same person. Not in all details, but likes and dislikes to all be similar. Now, yes, a high mind. Now, those at the top of North Korea that are running it, and there is a female physically there, the sister. Don't think she's not doing anything because she is. And she is more vicious than her brother. Maybe it's best she does not become in power. The chubby one, is doing a well. It could always be better human rights wise, but he is becoming a little bit more open to others, friendliness. But nobody likes him though. Well, when you're sending off missiles, and there's been a lot of disrespect back and forth, of course, due to the history of North Korea. Uh, Only thing we're seeing is invasion one day, possibly. Well, at least that's what's on. That is, of course, that won't happen most likely, but that's what countries are trying to do is invade it, so they can turn into what they want. And of course, they might blame it on somebody else or some sort of brainwashing, because yeah, some of your private your secret agencies, your spy agencies are very much they want to topple it. Yes, they're not in the full control of North Korea. I don't believe so. No, they want to. And yes, there's a lot of human trafficking that happens there, unfortunately. But it really is a place of high mind energy to have everyone be the same. I mean, the females are female, but they're all similar to each other. The males are males, all similar to each other. There's always going to be a difference in the likes and dislikes, but still, overall, it's very similar among everyone there. There is a Zeta presence there. There is a Palladian presence, of course, for human rights to heal that. The Zeta energy is basically, you can say some of their energies got hijacked to program North Korea to weaponize it, to make it into a war machine. Not all Zetas are bad. I mean, they might have technologies, but others find a way to hack into it. They're still figuring that out within their own selves, meaning that somebody can use their technology, Zeta technology, and they'll get the blame for it. And technically, that it is on them, but still. Well, they're not ones to know how to protect themselves very well. They create something and just leave it there. And then somebody takes it. And then they wonder who did it. Usually they're clueless for a while. For the future of North Korea, it's most likely, there are timelines, most likely for it to just rebuild its society. It will join the rest of the world when it's ready to do so. It's far from ready. That it's unprepared. It's not a normal place. It is an alien, country. Literally, it is showing what a third world country can truly, go down to. There are worlds similar to North Korea. Some of you have been there. Some of them are reptilian realities, but it's not always. Some are just a dictatorship that just. Yeah. Well, I believe many of you have experienced that in some form or fashion. Blessings. Greetings to you. This is the consciousness of China. Yes, they want to go to space, more than anyone. They want to make the United States look like a joke. But they've had some setbacks. Well, there has been some fallout with China, meaning that there's been some backstabbing going on behind the scenes. Not always by other Chinese people, no, by other governments that are foreign. So China, is it trying to be a world power? Well, it technically is, but not the. It doesn't want. Well, it does and doesn't. Many do not want it to be a world power because they'll mess it up. Even the United States, the way it's in the United States has been infiltrated by China influence due to a weak government, slightly hijacked. Things we can't go into here, but no, not a good idea. With your China's consciousness is actually there to create artists, creators, not necessarily. There is a big livestock of strange beings for consumption, swordfish and even crocodile, which I don't think is very popular, but does exist there, at least for food. Well, it shows where they come from. They're eating what they are. So it gives you a bit more, so like a squid. Some of those people are squid people. Some of them are from Orion, which makes this world a little bit complicated. So the pyramids were they brought in by Orion beings that were kind of Chinese or look Chinese. Which that's it with you. Well, they manufacture everything else in the world. Why not your pyramids? Yeah, some will call that disinfo. How about another layer to the mystery? Yes, Egyptian energies are definitely there, but it's also when it comes from an alien civilization, it doesn't always have to be Egyptian. There are other beings there. There's Egyptian-like beings there, yes. Orion beings, Hathor beings. Hathor beings is to clear out the vibrations for those that are causing a lot of mayhem on your planet. Well, yes, there's always a being that wants to play God. I mean, some of you that grew up in families with more than just one child, isn't one of them trying to be the god of others in some form? At least the boss. But still, that doesn't mean there's not a god complex there. But China's energy is to heal, but also divide. Meaning that your world order, the new world order that you've heard about, China will never go through with it. Yes, some might feel that they have their own version of it, and that's true, but that's being stopped. But the new world order, as many of you have heard of, China is one some part of it. Because you know that that'll be the end game of the planet. The Hunger Games does come through, those of you are aware of it. That is the society many of the elites want to create, where humans are basically just entertainment. You can be here, even at your numbers of 8 billion, that's fine, but they want to change society where you're just a robot to the hierarchy. And that's kind of happening, but not fully. Some still have freedoms here. But yes, there is a system here. Doesn't mean it's Chinese, but a control mechanism that just wants humans just to be entertaining, attractive, and kind of food for the elites, at least energy-wise, to serve the elite. And yes, even in elitist castle, they have some of their sighting, their creations around. The pyramids on the ground, things like that. You had it with Australia. But they actually want a kingdom. London is part of it, but they want something better. They want something that's more in everybody's face. Like a golden castle telling the world we run your planet. They're not doing that now, but they would like to. They feel like they can accomplish it too, and people would just let it go. People won't think anything of it. Now, would anybody be in that castle is another story. Most likely would be empty. Not always, but there'll be some kind of character. But they want to put it in humanity's face that there's nothing you could do. But obviously, many of you are reversing that at this time. This is greetings to you. Yes, I am, yes, the consciousness of San Francisco. I'm actually a diplomat energy. Not to rule your planet, but yes, to guide it, to take it to another level. Yes, to show human darkness. Yes, with the homelessness. But that is the wealthy are just showing they don't care about anybody. Your middle class can only do so much, and that's understood. But you're wealthy, you can do all kinds of things, and they don't do anything. Especially with those that are homeless there, and even the violence. It's even the super wealthy. They're welcome violence. They welcome society decay, and you're here to heal that. Don't forget that. Yes, your elites basically want to see society break down. Yes, become homeless and destroy it from within. The family, yes, weaponize that. Normally, they go for an elder, like a grandmother, to control the family line. Not all of them can be controlled, but some of them have been. Well, because they're kind of like dictators of the family. Yes, they're used as puppets. Some of them are to control the family line, to ruin it. It's like, oh, but grandma says this or that or whatever, and oh, no one's going to defy an old lady. But what is the agenda behind that? Of course, family looks the other way. Normally, it's like they look at the other way when their government is being taken over in front of them. Family has been taught to look away. I believe that was during George Washington's time. The elites got tired of seeing so many people against an Illuminati control. So obviously, they found ways to get humanity to pull back. And that was prosperity. Here's finer things in life. And that's where the central bank came in the United States, to make things prosper and to get better and better, to make the human lazy and self-destruct at the same time. Here's food. Here's all this fast food. Here's all this, yes, they call it a progress, when in truth they're just sickening the body. Now, you can still have fast food, but it can be healthier, though. It can be like a grocery store on the go. It is possible. Grocery stores are kind of on the go, for positive, to enhance yourselves. So that can be worked on over time. With San Francisco, yes, the elites, yes, when they see social decay, and yes, but the elites also, yes, want to do longevity. I believe you've heard of this before. Yes. Now, not all of them are bad. It's just those that have a theory, they feel like they're above humanity are difficult ones to heal, especially when they've given everything their whole lives. And they just have to sell themselves out just a little bit to get what they want. Yes, Lockheed Martin's connected to that. Yes, if you do a good job, you get yourself CEO as Lockheed Martin or something like that. If you do your task well. That's for example. Or be mayor of New York. For that matter. By selling yourself out. Normally it's done astrally. It's hard to do that physically. But normally people here sell themselves out astrally. It's just easier. Because you do it in public, everyone's looking at you with a strange face. Well, somebody won't. Because they usually have to sell themselves out publicly. They can't hide it. Not in this situation. So, for San Francisco energies, yes, there's elitist, populist energy there of, yes, better than others, than the lower classes. And once humanity realizes all this homelessness, all of this is just done to just destroy the world, basically. The elite energies that are, yes, very supreme, kind of supreme beings in some form, to bring sense of humanity to them. So you have to show how dark they are for you to work your magic to heal that. And then the wounds are deep. It's not just humanity. They cause a lot of humanity. The elites went towards humanity and damaged it, especially childbirth and many things. They want to be being. They want you to rely on somebody so they can control reality, puppet the reality as much as they can. They know they can't do it forever, but they're going to do it as long as they can.